me see. Ooh, see that stain? Look at that. Look how fluffy. See the layers in there? Look. Welcome back to Cooking at Pam's Place. We are getting ready to make the most amazing, flaky, tender, fluffy, homemade biscuits. Right here on the stovetop. Nope, we are not using our oven. We don't always want to heat up our oven or heat up our house. Sometimes you just need quick and easy, and that's what this is. But before we get started, if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me once again here in my kitchen. I really do appreciate you, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming once again to hang out here in my kitchen with me. And for my channel members, oh my goodness, thank you so much for your loyal, faithful support. Okay, the things you will need will be some self-rising flour, you're gonna need a little butter, and we're gonna need some water. Few other things, but we'll get to those as we go along. Now, you can use regular all-purpose flour for these, but you'll need to add in your baking soda, baking powder, salt, all that kind of good stuff. So we are just going to go in here, and I'm using maybe about a cup. That's about all I need. I'll need a little bit more. I'm using a baking mat, so I won't need very much on there. I like to always whisk my flour a little bit just to make sure there's no lumps in there. We have some grated cold, and I am using salted butter. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in there. Then I'm gonna grab a fork so that I can incorporate this butter really well, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just taking my fork, and I will leave all of the ingredients and direct measurements down in the description just below the video so that you guys can make this in your kitchen too. Okay, so I'm just kind of incorporating the butter in here, making it into a little bit more smaller pieces, more crumb-like. And you want to do that until you see quite a few fine crumbs, or it starts to look more crumbly than it does smooth. Now, this is what it should look like. And for those of you all who will probably ask in the comments, can you use an alternative flour or some other flour? I have not, but my suggestion is go ahead and try it. And whatever substitute you normally would make in using an alternative flour, use those. If it's a certain 1-to-1 type ratio or something like that. Now, I have water. A lot of people are going to ask me, can you use milk? Can you use buttermilk? Yes, you absolutely can. But I have found with making biscuits in general, they are much better with water because the texture with milk and buttermilk is a little bit tougher than what I personally like. So I'm just going in right now. This is about a 1/3 cup of water. You want this to be a really, really sticky dough to start with. So, but I don't want to add too much water in the beginning. So I put in just like a 1/3, and then we're going to go in with a little bit more. You just add the water a little bit at the time, just so that you won't overdo it. Okay, so this is how it should look, nice and sticky, just like that. Okay, so now, although I'm using a baking mat, I still like to go down with a little bit of extra flour so that we can actually make our dough. Now, before I pour my dough out on the baking mat, I'm going to grab my skillet. You will need a non-stick skillet. When it comes to a true non-stick skillet, I love a ceramic skillet. And this is my Chef Foundry skillet. I love it. I have a complete set of them, and they are amazing when it comes to non-stick. I don't like Teflon or anything like that because the coating can come out. So I am going to be using my Chef Foundry skillet here, and you will need it. You will need it to be cold. So that's why I went to grab it, so that as we make our biscuits, we can sit them right down in our Chef Foundry skillet. So I have some flour on here. I'm going to put just a little bit more, just to make sure I have enough. Okay, now we're going to just empty out our dough right on top of this flour. Now from here, there's no kneading, but we want to put a little flour on the top. And we're going to press our dough down into the flour. Then we're going to lift and fold our dough over. Still incorporating some of that flour. You can flip it over. This is what's going to make you have all those good layers. Fold it over in another way. And each time you fold it over, you're pressing it down, but you're handling it very, very gently. Very gently. Just keep folding and pressing it down. You can even see the layers in there. See those layers in there? That's what we're looking for. Just press it out and fold it over. You want to do this several times. All done cutting them out. Now we're going to head to the stove. We are now at the stove. This is a cold skillet that you want to put your biscuits in. Once you put them in the cold skillet like this, you want to go ahead and put a top on it. Then we're going to turn our stove on to medium low. This is going to allow the pan to heat up and the steam to build up inside the pan. After that, we'll come back for our next step. Now you can tell that our pan has started heating up. You can see the steam and a few little bubbles on your top. If you have a clear top, that's best because you don't have to take it off. If you have to take it off, you're going to be releasing some of the heat. And this is what we're doing right now. We're building up the heat inside the skillet so that it can help the biscuits rise and cook. So now that it's hot and it's hot, getting hot to the touch, and I can see the steam here, turn your stove down to low. And now we're just going to let them continue to cook until it's time to flip them over. Okay, so now you see quite a bit of water on the top of your skillet, and even though it's on low, you can feel the heat coming out. So let's look. It should be time to turn them over. And as you can see, they've started to rise up really, really well. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, look at that, nice and golden brown. Before I flip this one, let me show you, see how much it has risen. Look at that. Oh, it's hot, hot, hot. And you can see it's nice and golden brown. So we're going to flip them over, cover them back up because we had the top off. We need to wait a little bit longer to bring it back up to temp. Okay, these are smelling amazing. Look at how well they look. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Third and final step. We need to check to see if the other side has started browning or has browned. It should be ready, actually. So just want to flip that over. Look. Oh my goodness. Can you all see that? Look at that. Oh, it's hot. Look at the other side, guys. Isn't that amazing? Look how beautiful that looks. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to flip them back over on the tops. What we're doing now is we're going to actually turn our stove completely off and just let the residual heat continue to cook. Now, if you have an electric stove, then you might want to move it off. I'm going to let mine, I do have an electric stove. I'm going to let mine sit here for maybe about a minute or so. And then for the second half, because we only need to do this for maybe about 4 minutes. So for the first couple, I'm going to leave it sitting here on the stove. For the last two, I'm going to move it off to a separate eye. Okay, we are all done. Ooh, that's hot. 1 second. Take a look. Don't these look amazing? Oh my goodness. Flip them over. Yes. Woo. They are delicious smelling as well. Gotta do a taste test. Okay, we're gonna break one open. I want you guys to see how nice and fluffy the inside is. And you can make honey butter to go with this or use some jam or jelly. You know, you can put gravy on dinner, breakfast, it doesn't matter. Today, I'm gonna be using my brandy syrup. Yes, and I'll leave the link to this video down in the description as well. But before we do our taste test, if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much again for coming and hanging out with me today here in my kitchen. I really do appreciate each and every one of you all returning subscribers. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for keep coming back over and over again. I really do appreciate you. And for all my channel members, oh my goodness, thank you so much for your loyal, faithful support. Okay. Wow, I didn't flip them back over. Let me flip them back over to the right side. Oh my goodness, and show you that side as well. Ooh, look. Yes, on the stovetop, guys. Oh my goodness. Ooh, okay, these are still piping hot. Ooh, we're gonna break one open. Ooh. See. Ooh, see that sting? Look at that. Look how fluffy. See the layers in there? Look. Smells divine. So, I'm just going to put a little of my brandy syrup on one of them so we can do a taste test. Let me grab a knife. Okay. Y'all know I had to be a little extra, put a little extra on there. My brandy syrup. Smelling good. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is piping hot. Gotta get all my little syrup on there. Ooh. Soft and buttery, and my brandy syrup on top of it. Ooh, child. Delicious. This is amazingly delicious. And I love just being able not to have to heat my stove. No oil in the skillet. Nothing in the skillet. Cold skillet. Amazing. And I will see you all next time. The good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Bye-bye.